MrBeast just dropped a video from the ancient pyramids of Mexico. But at Chichén Itzá, he couldn't go inside Kukulkan. They let him fly a drone to the top. But he didn't go inside. It's closed to the public. Not even MrBeast could get in, but I went in, and I filmed it. Sure, he got a drone to fly to the temple at the top. Impressive, but that's not where the real secrets are. What he didn't see is what I saw. Not through the top, but through a hidden side entrance. No drone, no CGI, no $1 million budget, just boots on the ground access even MrBeast couldn't buy. This is what's really inside the Forbidden Pyramid of Kukulkan. This was filmed before 4K became the standard. Resolution may be dated, but the access and what it shows, still rare, still real. This is the temple of Kukulkan, sacred, aligned with the stars, and hiding secrets. In the 1930s, archaeologists breached a tunnel through the balustrade into the side of the pyramid. It's not open to tourists. Almost no one gets to see what's inside. And yes, people ask me how I got in. It was filmed years ago. At the time, a guide offered us access, and I believed it was permitted. Only later did I learn how restricted this site truly is. I share this not to glorify it, but to document what few have seen with respect for this place and its history. Today, the pyramid is strictly closed to the public, and for good reasons: safety, preservation, and sacred respect. I'm fortunate and deeply appreciative to have had this experience and the opportunity to film it, so now I can share it with you. We entered. The air changed. The sound disappeared. Stone closed in around us. Step by step, we moved through silence, through time. As you watch these walls, remember, these are not just stone, they're memory. These blocks were carved before paper, before steel. They've seen everything, and they remember. This isn't the pyramid you know. It's the second one, buried within. As we climb these steps, imagine this. Priests once ascended them in torchlight, carrying offerings. The air was thick with incense, with chants, with expectation. Scientists now confirm Kukulkan contains 3 pyramids, stacked like Russian dolls. To the Maya, this was their axis mundi, their cosmic center. We climb to the sacred platform.
Wow, look at this. Look up. You can see the Maya masonry. Typical rubble filled in the core. What will we find here?
And there it was, the Chacmool.
Man, you can feel the energy in here. See the plate on the solar plexus? Maybe an obsidian mirror.
You are now standing in the Hall of Offerings. This is where devotion lived. We circle him. From the side, from above, every angle shows something new. Look at his stomach. Do you see the red, remnants of paint, or is it blood? Was this figure once bathed in ritual? Or cinnabar, perhaps, a sacred pigment used to honor the dead? His chest bears a pendant, a triangle with wing-like shapes. Could it be a bird, a symbol of Kukulkan, or something older? His head is detailed. Pierced nose, inlaid eyes, open mouth with remarkable teeth still set. The knot behind his head, the headdress, the loops, every element carved with intention. Even his feet, bound with cords, toes hyper-realistic, nails inlaid. This isn't just a sculpture, it's a vessel, a conduit, a witness. We now step forward past Chacmool through the inner threshold, and here it is, low, still, watching. The red jaguar. The eyes catch your attention. Jade, glowing, set with precision. We can see a dot centered inside each eye. Makes the jaguar feel alive, watching. The green spots, jade, meant to evoke the jaguar's divine pelt. Its stone body glows with red pigment, sacred to the Maya, life, death, blood. You look closer at the mouth. Fangs, carved, sharp, set in stone. This isn't just craftsmanship, this is intention. A throne, but not for comfort, a witness to ceremony, a seat of sacred power. It's meant to strike you, the impression, the realism, the threat. This wasn't just a sculpture, it was a channel, a guardian, a vessel to the other world. For the Maya, the jaguar wasn't a beast. It was sacred, a symbol of the night, a walker between worlds. A creature that moved through caves, temples, the underworld, Shilpalba. The spots mirror the stars. Its eyes saw beyond. Maya kings wore jaguar skin to claim their divine right. To sit on a jaguar throne was to ascend, not in power, but in spirit. And the red wasn't decoration. It was sacred. It meant blood, vitality, sacrifice. Here, we get close up to the fangs. You can see the detail, the reverence in the carving. This throne didn't just serve the comfort, it served in ceremony. It was a portal, a stage for offerings, and a place for divine communion. And now, for this moment, you stand before it. And you're not just looking at an object, you're looking at a memory, a witness carved in stone. From this angle, we can see its tail, and now we turn toward the wall. The throne still holds its place behind you, and there it was, a hole in the wall, exposing something unexpected, bone. We moved to the left, and there was another. And another. Femur bones, pale, hollow, and human, built right into the wall, not scattered, not buried, installed. There were no skulls in sight, maybe sealed deeper in the masonry, or never used, but what we saw was ordered, deliberate, chosen, a sequence. Why bones? Why embed them at all, let alone where ritual would unfold? Like the Zompantli, located just outside the Pyramid of Kukulkan. Skull racks arranged like cosmic rows of seed, bones here might have served as more than sacrifice. They may have charged the room itself. In indigenous traditions, bones weren't just the remains of death. They were the seeds of rebirth, tools of transformation and divination. Then there's the nearby Chul tomb, discovered in 1967, where archaeologists uncovered the remains of over 100 children. Some were siblings, some twins, echoes of the hero twins in the Popol Vuh, who descend into the underworld and rise transformed. We keep filming.
Wow. Look at this. Wow.
Here, a larger circular hole, perfectly carved. A dowel hole maybe, possibly meant to support a wooden rod, perhaps from the sacred sapote tree to hang a ceremonial veil. Look up. The ceiling rises into a traditional Maya arch, curved stone arranged with precision and purpose. Then another hole, a hole embedded above. Not a game hoop, not Pete's, not like the ones MrBeast mentioned, and not for sport. Those who lost the Maya ball game weren't always sacrificed. Some researchers suggest it was the winner, an honor, a return to the gods.
This is an example of a Maya ball court. This is where they would play the ball game, poke the poke, or Pete's, there's two names for it. This one was actually constructed in 906 AD. How do we know that? Because on the ring, on the hoop, there's actually an inscription which tells us it's 906 AD. But that hoop isn't the original. It's considered to be a game that was played to avoid physical sacrifice. The ball players would come out, they could only use their hips, no hands, they would have to use their hips. In some cases they say the elbows, they would have padding and different regalia. And the object, allegedly, was to be able to hit the ball using the hips, hit the rubber ball through the hoops. Well, the ball game was basically played to avoid physical sacrifice, or so they think. The archaeologists, they couldn't decide, though, if there's still arguments whether it was the winner or the loser that was actually decapitated. So they don't know with certainty. But if we were to view this on a higher scale, let's say taking on more of a shamanic perspective, it's not a ball game that was played to avoid physical sacrifice, where the ball player is being led to his death, but where the initiate is being guided through an initiatory process, through the process of becoming, from which then they would be able to commune with higher spiritual realities and then come back with the process to heal through regeneration. It's actually viewed as an initiatory process if we look at it through that scope. So yeah, again, the hoop is not original, that's just a replica.
What's clear is that this wasn't a game. This hoop may have suspended a veil, drawn in ritual, lifted during offerings, shielding sacred acts from sight. Then I saw it, a smear on the wall. Original paint? Or was it blood? We look up one final time to that classic Mayan arch, a vault held in silence, held in stone. In these final moments, I'm inside the temple, top of the second pyramid of Kukulkan, where MrBeast never went. This is what he missed: the Ascension passage, the Chacmool altar, the jaguar throne, bones sealed in the wall, and one of Kukulkan's greatest secrets, another hidden pyramid deep inside. I'm standing on it now. And yet, we're only scratching the surface, as another, third, smaller, much older pyramid remains hidden inside this one. MrBeast promised secrets, but didn't make it inside. I did, and I'm sharing this with you, for you. Thank you for coming on this journey. I didn't know what I was seeing then, but I do now. We left in silence. Changed. Most people only see the outside, but inside are hidden worlds. But don't leave the sacred just yet. There's still more to see. As we climb down, look up. Take notice above. The arch ceiling still bears a reminiscent outline of an inverted turtle shell. In many indigenous traditions, the Americas are known as Turtle Island, a sacred land said to rest on the back of a great turtle. But the deeper we go, the more feeling shifts. It's no longer the turtle we ride, but the serpent we're entering through, as if being swallowed whole. A fitting sensation, perhaps, since this pyramid is consecrated to Kukulkan, the feathered serpent deity of rebirth, wisdom, and power. Before entering this sacred place, we ask the ancestors for permission, and we do the same before leaving, not just to pass through, but to move forward with respect and protection. But don't go just yet. There's a Kukulkan clap coming up, a little Maya magic, and something I want to leave you with. If you want to experience ancient sacred sites like this one for yourself, in real life, in person, come with me. Join the Insiders email list at adeptexpeditions.com. That's where the real journey begins. Join me for an exclusive tour. I get VIP access to ancient sacred sites all over the world, not just Mexico. I also lead tours to South America, Peru and Bolivia, Easter Island, as well as Turkey and Egypt. Spots go fast, so be sure to get on the email list today. And if you want to go even deeper, grab my books and more at next.com. And if you believe in my work and you want to support it, join my inner circle at Patreon. There's still a part of the Kukulkan Pyramid that I didn't show in this video. Something else MrBeast didn't get to see, and it's one of the details that I find most fascinating. So if you want to see it and you want to support my work, it's up now on Patreon, where you can get access to more rare and unreleased raw footage, behind the scenes, and Patreon-only content, as well as early releases and discounts on my tours with Adept Expeditions. And let's give MrBeast a round of Kukulkan claps. Because while he may not have made it inside, he did bring some epic drone shots. This video, dedicated with respect to the Maya people, whose ingenuity, astronomy, and sacred traditions shaped one of the most extraordinary civilizations on Earth. And Mexico, whose lands continue to hold their echoes. If this stirred something, share it. Subscribe, I have more. Some filmed, some still waiting to be told, because the hidden is just beginning.